Hey guys, Dr. Decks here. We thought we would go back and do a couple of Q&As for you as we're getting a lot of questions and we haven't provided a lot of answers. I've been trying to go back through all the videos and answer as many questions as possible, at least the relevant ones and the kind ones. And I appreciate those of you that are leaving questions and that are considerate on our page. I have a list of questions here. I'm gonna read them off and answer them for you, and hopefully it helps somebody out there. So if you like what you see today, please don't forget to click that subscribe button and hit that bell icon to be notified when we're putting out new content, okay? Only 17% of you subscribe to this channel, so we want that subscription rate a little higher than that. It's free, doesn't cost you anything, you don't get solicited, anything like that. It's really strictly to help us and our goal of getting more subscribers to our channel. So thank you for that, I really appreciate it. All right, first question. You mentioned Sashco color match. Where do you find that? So I actually pulled one because I pre-read some of these questions. So this product is called Exact Color, and it's made by a company called Sashco, which is kind of a unique word, but it stands for Sash Company, and they make different types of sealants for different applications. So I believe you can find Exact Color at Lowe's Home Improvement. I've used several tubes of this. It's pretty cool because you can just insert any acrylic paint into this tube. That comes with a dispenser, so you know exactly how much to use, and then it comes with a hardener to make it into a caulk texture. And you shake it up and just read the directions, and you can get a pretty accurate color match to whatever you're trying to match. For us, it's PVC decking usually. So I would try Lowe's Home Improvement and see if they carry that for you. You can also try their webpage. And if you look up Sashco on Instagram, they also will get back to you. I'm in touch with their social media department quite often, and they always reply to my comments and concerns. So if all else fails and you can't seem to find it, contact Sashco directly on Instagram and see if they'll give you the information you're looking for your geographical location. How can I make track saw cuts without cutting through the GTape? I do two different techniques. Usually what I'm doing is, regardless of how we fasten down a deck, if we have a waterproof bladder, you can't cut through the bladder or the tape. The tape is an additional layer of insurance. If you cut through that, you might get a leak. So what we do, I took some really thin 1/8" plywood, which I call it a door skin because that's really what the ones I'm buying are. They're glued up on the outside of a door. It could be mahogany or oak or birch. And I ripped those into like 3-inch wide strips. And then I put those strips down on the tape before I put any decking up on the deck. And as I'm putting down the decking, then I have a strip underneath the cut line. You gotta put it where the cut line's gonna be or close to it. That gives me that extra 1/8" of insurance that I'm not gonna cut through that tape or the bladder. So you'll see me doing that quite often. That's probably my best bet. I've also used cardboard. If you don't have a door skin, but you can find some cardboard somewhere. So basically what you're doing is you're fastening down the deck except for the last line. And then you don't put any fasteners in that, hidden or clips or anything. You gotta keep it clean. Then you cut the line, detail your end or whatever you're gonna do to it, or nothing, depending on how you install your decking. And then you fasten that down. Usually even if I'm using a clip system on the main deck, I still pin my ends with a Cortex fastener. So then I'll pull out the door skins, and sometimes you gotta get tricky. They can be compressed because you have screws 16 inches away from the end grains. So then the end grains are still kind of compressed on that plywood piece. So I use a pry bar and I wiggle them out. And sometimes they pull right out. Sometimes they don't pull out so easy. So you gotta have a little bit of patience with it. If you cut the proper depth, it kind of leaves a little bit of a groove, and you can take a pry bar against your deck board and pry it away like this, and they'll come out a lot easier. And then don't forget to re-gap your space with some spacers, re-gap the gaps so that even those ends, if they're still pinned, but they're 16 inches away, they can still be off in distance. So I re-gap everything, chalk a line, Cortex or hidden screw or some type of through clip or whatever, get it done, and then you're good to go. Sorry for the lengthy explanation on that one, but that's how I do it. Knee pad recommendations. So recently, Blockloader just came out with a slip-on knee pad, and they run a little big. I'm wearing their smalls, but they have a new elongated gel insert for the knee pads. Now that's if I'm wearing shorts. If you're wearing pants, they're really not gonna work so hot. You could wear them underneath your pants, or I wear the Blockloader pants with their gel inserts in them. Or the last thing I do is I'll use like a, let's say I'm wearing sweats one day, it's raining, or I'm wearing rain gear, and I don't have inserts, then I'll wear a pair of ProTech skateboard knee pads that I can just Velcro around. So those are my three options. The ProTechs though, they're a hard shell, so they can scratch decking. So I GTape the outsides of them quite often when I'm using them, because if you twist on a deck and you have a hard knee pad on, you can actually scuff the deck. So you gotta be careful about that. Any good privacy options? Mostly when I'm doing privacy, I'm either building a wall out of decking to match the deck, or we'll do alternate colors and kind of stagger things and give it a really nice random look. Or I'm using hideaway screens. Hideaway screens, again, you can find them here on YouTube and on Instagram, and they make laser cut aluminum screens meant for outdoor use. They powder coat, powder coat, they spec to size, they're excellent. They even roll screens on curves if you want. I've done that a couple times. Those guys are amazing, and I can't say enough good things about them, so I definitely check them out, Hideaway Screens. How do you replace a board if there is a fault or damage after install? Well, it depends on how you install it. Now, I assume this question was asked in regards to if it was a hidden clip system. Certain hidden clip systems, you can actually unscrew the board through the gap. Other hidden clip systems, not so much. They're like a directional type clip. You might install them one way, you put it in the next board, there's no way to get it out. So what you gotta do is actually cut the board out down the middle, tear it out, and then Cortex each end of the opposing boards, and then Cortex the new board in. If you don't have the Cortex option, that's gonna be a really tricky situation. My second option would be to go underneath the deck and use some type of an angle or hidden fastener system. I think it's Deckmaster. I can't remember the name. I think it's Deckmaster that has a clip, and we've used it on a video a couple months ago. So you can check back on our videos here on YouTube to see the type of clip it is. But it's like a 90-degree piece of angle that's been powder coated, and then you put screws through it like this. So you can actually screw it to the joist and then screw through it if you have access to the underside of the decking. If you don't have access to the underside of the deck and you don't have the ability to use those clips, I would try to find a face clip that's universal to your board and try to slide it in. And if that doesn't work, then you're just gonna have to face screw it and tell the client that that's the best we can do. But I think you have a few options before, or you could try using a micro screw and face screwing and then tapping over that to see if you can get it to hide. But odds are you can find one of those other systems and use those first. So good luck with that. Do you think building material increases since 2020 have been over 20%? I guarantee they've been over 20%. Lumber is still a really volatile market. So since it's a commodity, it kind of goes up and down, and it just seems to be bouncing all over the place. So the same framing package, depending on the time of year and what's going on with the economy, can vary $1,000 or more. I lost $5,000 a year ago on a project because of lumber pricing. So you can go back to the client. It depends, like if you give somebody a price, but you're not starting for 6 months, you should have a clause in your estimate or contract stating that the price may change due to a lumber commodity or something like that. But I'm not an attorney, so consult yours and get that in your contract. I saw your strong tie video about the tension tie. Is that the only option? They actually make a couple different tension ties. One's called a DTT1Z and one's called a DTT2Z. And one is more intrusive, where you actually have to get into the existing floor joist of the house, attach to it, run some all thread, block, waterproof, then new ledger through that, and then attach to a joist, which is a lot of work. Or the newer option is the DTT1Z, where you are attaching to the joist and you're attaching into the plate that's on top of the stud wall plate, if you can find it. And depending on the height of your deck and where the studs go up will determine where you need to attach that. So you have to do a little bit of investigation to figure that out, but usually that's how we do it. Oh, and also on that, for the DTT onesies, you're going to need more of those per deck than you would the DTT twosies because of the load capacity of the bracket. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Hope some of those questions helped some of you guys. It seems like a lot of the new people that are coming to our channel have been sending me messages and saying, hey, really appreciate this information. So I hope that does help somebody out there. So if you're getting something out of the video, don't forget to click that subscribe button, share it with your friends. Don't forget to like this video and leave a comment below, and I'll try to get back to you in a timely fashion. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.